Long way, get this shit a long way, this shit a long way. Long way, hit it long way, 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 shit, long way, 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 shit a long way. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shit a long way, finish rich, yeah. Gotta get the shit a long way, get the shot a little shit, don't really understand, man. Gotta know what she don't really understand, man. Gotta get a meal, she don't understand, she be tripping every day, she be tripping every way. But I gotta get this shit a long way, yeah. Tryna get money every single way, tryna get money every single day, yeah. Get money every single way, every day. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. Every day we gotta get paid, yeah. I'm feeling like we be the new slaves, yeah. We gotta finish rich, no, we gotta finish rich. Got a new bitch, she don't understand rich. She don't understand, niggas gotta get rich. She don't understand, sometimes we gotta hit lit. No, we ain't hit lit, tryna get the long way, yeah. Tryna get the shit the long way, yeah. Cause you tryna wrap up a entree, yeah. Told you the other day that did my palm strong. We gon' shoot the long way, we gon' get the long way, yeah. Yeah, get the shit the long way. My bitch be trippin' back and forth like a palm way. When I get Atari, I ain't playing games, so I'm done talking. Yesterday she told me that she about to leave, I said fuck it, bitch, we gon' get some money. I said fuck it, bitch, I'm about to get some money. So what I do today, I work to got some money, yeah. Cause we gon' get the shit the long way, we gon' get shit the long way, yeah. Back and forth like the palm way, yeah. Man, I'ma get the shit the long way, get the shit the long way. Just the only way today, because they go with shit's crazy. We gotta wear a mask, we the new slaves, and we be wearing this shit like every day. We be okay, we gon' be okay, they gon' be okay, they gon' be okay for me, yeah. So we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, we gon' get this shit the long way, yeah, we get this shit the long way, yeah. Cause we gon' be okay, we gon' be okay, yeah, we gon' get the long way, yeah.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Savings Minus Debt. I'm your host, LJ Young. What's up, Robert? What's up, Luminoth? Happy Thanksgiving to all. I'm so focused on other stuff, man. I almost forgot it was Thanksgiving. You guys know that? That's hard to explain, but I know. But maybe one day you'll understand later on. But anyway, welcome to the channel. I'm the founder of SMD. SMD is a family of people that pretty much think like me. And what is that? I'm here to share my gift. And my gift is that I know capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. This is a mathematical fact, okay? It's not a theory. It's not something I came up with or anything like that. It's just a fact. Whether you believe it or not, it's totally up to you. But anyway, the people that live on the negative side of the economy are called debt slaves. Who are debt slaves? Debt slaves are people that believe they can own with absolutely no money of their own. People that believe they can buy buy houses with mortgages, cars with car loans, invest in retirement while having student loan debt older than in retirement, people that finance electric cars that believe they're saving money on gas. Those are called debt slaves. They're debt slaves because none of anything of what they're doing none of it's mathematically true at all, right? Well, I was a debt slave once. I was the best kind of debt slave. I was the kind of debt slave that I was college educated, am college educated, six-figure earner, but kept my student loans for 10 years, triple my salary in debt with a mortgage and car loans and credit cards. That was me. That was me. Till one day, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey says, take the calculator and his baby steps and get out of debt. I saw that and I was like, wow, it can't be that easy. But since I was an engineer, it wasn't very difficult for me to follow. And I did it and I got to zero till I got to the part of Mr. Ramsey's plan where it says, when you pay off all your debt and get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% to retirement. That's what you should start doing. But according to the calculator, when I put in my mortgage payment minus my mortgage balance and hit equal, the calculator said I didn't have 15% of anything to put anywhere. That's where I decided to leave Mr. Ramsey's plan, because I knew after that was just his business plan of his business. Anything that's mathematically impossible, that's called business. But that's legal. Nothing's wrong with it. I'm not saying anything's bad by it. I'm just saying that's where I left his plan, because I chose math. Once I got to zero, I turned around. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute. You mean all those people in debt don't know anything? Don't know anything. Now, just to give you guys a heads up, the type of person I was when I was a debt slave, I wasn't a talk shit person. I was a do shit person. So as a debt slave, I made a lot of things happen to achieve what I achieved in the debt matrix world that was supposed to be good, six-figure earner, college educated, blah, blah, blah. But nobody talked about being in debt. Nobody did. My whole entire life. I didn't wake up till in my 40s until I realized I got to zero. I was like, those people own nothing. No, they are everything. I live on the positive side of the economy now. That's why I help you become anything you want. Taxes are your friend. You don't have to be scared of the IRS or nothing, because you're following all the laws and the rules. All you gotta do is follow them. They're there for a reason. They're not. If you just keep looking at them like, oh, they're bad. Why are they bad? Listen? Who's telling you that they're bad? What if somebody's voicing their opinion about the IRS because they're in IRS trouble, tax trouble? Oh, wow, they just seized my account and took all my money out of my account just out of the blue. Just one day, they just seized all their money, and they had no idea it was coming. You got to be careful who you're talking to. When you come here, you understand the purpose of mortgages: to buy people, not houses. If you believe, listen, if you believe it takes 30 years to buy off one house, that means they bought you, because it only takes one day to buy a house, not 30 years. 30 years of your life? Say like you're 30 right now and you signed up for a 30-year mortgage. That means you're not going to pay it off until you're 60. You're going to listen, you're going to stay right there at that place right there for the next 30 years of your life. You can't believe that, right? You cannot believe that. You are literally promising the next 30 years of your paychecks going to for this house. Are you a fortune teller? Can you see into the future? I got some bad news for you. The future doesn't exist, debt slave. So what do I do? I help people come over to the positive side, where very few of us are. There's nobody like me. I'm one of the rare few that can physically prove the psychological exists. I can physically prove it with mathematics. Prove it. Let me give you an example. If you believe you're a homeowner, right? Open up the calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance, and hit equal. Does that large negative number look like you own something or owe something? What's that look like to you? Does that large negative number look like ownership or loanership? Nothing. Listen, nothing's hidden. Nobody's tricking you. No, don't think somebody's doing something. Nobody's tricking anybody. Nobody owns math. Okay, you guys got to understand that. Nobody in the world And nobody in the world has ever broken the laws of mathematics. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Nobody. So you come to the positive side, and I help you participate in capitalism positively. Over here, you don't trick and lie and try to hide money and cheat on your taxes and hide money in banks and pretend they don't exist. Say you didn't earn some money and you really did. You don't do that. You know why? Because you'd be cheating yourself. Debt slaves are the taxes. When you're on the positive side, you understand that debt slaves are the taxes. It's them. So you're probably thinking, LJ, well, millions of people have mortgages and think they're homeowners. Yes, that's true. Yeah, so what does that mean? 99% of the homes you see are bank owned. Yes, that's what that is. Yes. So as long as you understand that and you come and get into the real estate game or the real estate business or whatever, as long as you understand that debt slaves can't buy any houses without the bank's permission. Okay. Just keep that fully in mind. Debt slaves have to ask the bank for everything. Can I buy a car? Can I buy a house? Can I invest? Can I buy some gas? Can I buy a phone? This is for the people that want to come to the positive side. They don't know that. This is where you capitalize on that. They don't know they're not supposed to finance phones. If you're listening to this and you have a finance phone, you probably have a mortgage and car payments. That's why you have a finance phone. It, it must be, listen, it must be time to get you guys into these all these available homes right now. They must trying to ramp up the like it's gonna be a frenzy or something. So I guess if they start 5% down loans, it's gonna send you guys into a frenzy. Jacking up house prices, whatever. Hey, I don't care. I just got a seat in the stadium. I'm just watching. That's how they do that. Okay. So they if they want to start, if they want to jack up home prices or make it look like the houses are getting scarce, start offering 5% down mortgages. No money. Who do you listen, debt slaves? Who do you think they're talking to? Who do you think their main customer demographic are that will believe 5% down of 100% home will buy you a house? People with no money. Guess what? People with money know you have to have money to buy a house. If I have the money and I pay 100% and I own my home, why do you think you can only have to pay 5% and you think you're the same as me? That's not true. Now you come to the positive side, guess what? You sell houses to people that believe they can buy it for 5% and you get your commission on the everybody knows, the bank, everybody. Put it this way. So I know you guys don't believe me, but I'm gonna give you say like you're a real estate person, you're a real estate investor, and you don't know capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. You don't know that. You've never heard of this in your life, right? Never heard of this. You come to me and I bring you to the positive side of the economy. And then when it's time for you to go get loans from the bank for your business, because I'm not against loan for your business. There's loans for many different reasons when you understand how it works. So don't worry about loans on the business side. I guarantee you, when you go get that loan and then they look at your personal credit report, they're going to know that somebody's been talking to you because your credit report will be the most rare credit report they've ever seen, especially according to your age. So say like you walked in there, you came to see me and you're in your 40s. You've been in the real estate game all your life. You've never heard of anybody talk like this. And you come to the positive side, I help you see your credit report changes. What does it change to? You're probably asking, what do you mean my credit report changes? You will have no owners listed on your credit report. Right now, if you go to your personal credit report, you probably have pages of owners. When you own yourself, listen closely. When you own yourself, the business of yourself, it's one page, no owners on all three. Equifax, TransUnion, and whatever. What's the name? Experian. Soon as they run your credit report, because that's the first thing they're going to do, because the bank wants to see how you've been treating the business of yourself. When you go, listen, debt slaves, when you go get a loan, credit scores are just indicators. They don't really mean anything, okay? They just mean if you have a high credit score, you just pay back the bank's money on time. If you have a low credit score, you don't. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Say like you have a 850 credit score because you've kept up on all, excuse me. Say like you have an 850 credit score because you've kept up on all your payments of your mortgage, your credit cards, your student loans, your multiple car payments, but you make enough money to cover all the payments, so your credit score is 850. Okay, but this person has a credit score of 600, going on high fives because they had one car repossession on their credit, but that's the only thing they have. So their credit score is like in the 600s. But they owe $2,000 from a car repossession that they didn't pay or have the money to put on. So it went into collections on their credit report, therefore making it 600 credit score, right? To the average person, they would look at the credit score and be like, oh, this person with the 850 is higher. But what you're not looking at, the person with the 850 is almost $1 million in debt. And everything you see that the person with the 850 credit score has, they don't own none of it. Payments say you don't own anything. Payments go to the owner. People who own homes are not paying anybody because they own it. You don't make pay. If you're a homeowner, homeowners don't make payments. If you have a mortgage, you are a loan owner, not a homeowner. You are a loan owner. So if you see people talking about 5% down loans, who do you think they're talking to? People that don't know you can't buy a house with only 5% of the purchase price. Who do you think that crowd is? People that don't know. Debt slaves. And you guys are scraping together that. When they see how you put together just the 5%, I mean, if you're doing it, they already know. Okay, that they are automatically FHA, something subprime. It's subprime. Who do you think they're talking to? People with no money that think they can own a piece of the American dream. If you open up your calculator, put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, and you see a large negative number, and you still believe you're a homeowner, guess what? You are dreaming. You're living the American dream. If you put in your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal and see that large negative number, and you still believe you own equity in a mortgaged house that you didn't even have the money to buy, you are dreaming. So this is what you do. If you want to stop dreaming, you come to me. I'll bring you to the positive side. And guess what? You work with the banks to sell people their dreams. Nothing happens without the blessing from the banks. Do you guys understand that? All you got to do is look. Everybody with mortgages are dreaming. Millions of people with mortgages are calling themselves homeowners. They don't know that they're not. You can point them to listen. This is what I want you people, if you're new, okay? So you guys can understand what perspective I'm coming at. You can point people to this video that have mortgages. They're not going to understand what I'm talking about. I want you guys to understand that they have no idea, even if that I'm speaking English, even though I'm proving everything I'm saying with math, they don't know. So this is what I do. If you are tired of being a debt slave, you come, I bring you over to the positive side. I show you what billions with a B, billions of people don't know, and you capitalize on it. And guess what? Since you're in America, guess what? You get to start, you get to master the absolute best capitalistic system in the world, the USA. This one right here, isn't that clear? Isn't clear capitalism works the best here? That's obvious. Thank you. So when you hear people talk about other economies and the type is this and that, and you know what it's good or bad, and this, you got to turn to them and say, are you in debt? If the person is talking to you about another country's economy and they have debt, that means they don't understand the economy that they're in right now. So you better stop listening to them. They don't understand this one. I'm not listening to a debt slave with student loan debt talk about another country's economy and how it should work and why is it better over there. I'm not listening to them. The first thing I think is, what about the economy of yourself? All you got to do is log into your online credit report, look up your total debt. That's how the economy of you is doing. That's you. That's the economy of yourself. How's the economy of you doing right now? That's the only one you should be worried about. Exactly, Nick. You sell your 5%. They got you for 5. Listen, that's bad. Whatever you come up with, that's what you sold yourself for. You're not getting, listen, that money you come up with, you're not getting any of that back at all because you're doing it in the first place. That 5% is probably to pay for paperwork and all the hassle to write all this crap up that you're not going to be in this house long at all. So it's just to pay for everybody and some, line a few pockets. What, it's just business, ain't nothing personal. Honestly, I don't care how they do it. I just find it amazing. So you actually sold yourself for whatever the 5% of the house. You can go get you a half a mil. I'll be hearing these ads. You can go get yourself a $500,000 house, 5% down. Are you crazy? They get you guys so, oh my goodness, debt slaves. But when you come to the positive side and you understand that capitalism is psychological and you are a real estate investor, or you sell real estate and you understand this, that's how you sell it to them. You got to understand they can't buy nothing without the permission of the bank. Anybody coming up talking about, yeah, I'm trying to get a house with one of these 5% down loans, they already know who they're talking to. Soon as you crack your lips to say, I'm looking for that type of loan, they know they have you, because only people that don't know, aka debt slaves, do not know they can't buy a house for 5% of the purchase price. You can't do that. All that shit is front loaded. Why do you think they front loaded? Because it's for people that don't know. PMI, MIP, they just be moving the first it's called PMI, right? Private mortgage insurance. Then they say, okay, people are getting used to that. Let's change it to MIP. So what they end up doing is just taking the P and moving it to the end. Now it's called MIP. Take it from the front, move it to the end. Now it's called MIP. They throw you guys off. It's the same thing. Well, we can get to the 70 or 80%, and then they can knock up not on those type of mortgages that last the entire length of the loan, extra money. It went from PMI paying more insurance to more insurance paying, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's different. What's up, Andre? You own 5% of the home and they own 100% of you. I didn't even look at it like that, Nick. They sold themselves for 5% of the purchase price of the house. Then as soon as they get the house, guess what the next thing you have to do is go beg for overtime. Do you have a job? Are you at a job? Listen, are you at a job that you guys fight over overtime? This is what I want you to pay attention to the next time you go to work, because S&V family members are everywhere. Okay. The next time there's a meeting about how the 5% the overtime is going to get and divided and all this other stuff, look for the people that just look for the workers that are standing in the back of the room, not really even paying attention. They're just in the room because they're required to be there or something, right? Pay attention to those people. Go back there and just stand with them for a second, right? Don't worry about not getting overtime. Just go back there and stand. And then look at the frenzy. You see all those people begging to be at work instead of being at home with their loved ones? Those are called debt slaves. They're begging to be at work. Those same people have mortgages, and the majority of their time is spent at work, and they have a mortgage. They have no idea. That makes absolutely no sense. Believing they own a house the entire time, believe they're homeowners the entire time. Man, my house, man, you know how much my house is going to be worth in 10 years? 10 years, it only takes a day. What do you talk about 10 years? You're not even going to own it in 10 years. And they still believe it's theirs. They don't know that. They don't know they own nothing. Okay. You guys understand when I bring you to the positive side, especially if you're in the finance game, tax game, business, and you're looking to be the best without no barely any competition, come see me. Come see me. You'll be the best. What's up, Omanike? And when you break it down like that, it still makes too much sense for the debt slaves. Is that too much sense? And listen, this is S&D family members. I want you guys to understand something, okay? Because some of you guys are still coming into this fact. When you hear me say you can't buy a house with a mortgage, debt slaves have no idea what I'm talking about. I want you guys to just let that sink in your mind, okay? They don't know what I mean. They're going to look around. They're going to be like, hey, all my friends have. What are you talking about? So-and-so's equity went up in the mortgage. They're going to start slave-splaining. The reason why they do that is because they don't know everything they're saying is not mathematically true. None of it is. You notice how when I go into other rooms, they call me the calculator guy? Guess what? They now believe I invented the calculator. So when you see people type in rooms, oh, here's that calculator guy. Guess what they're saying? They believe I invented the calculator. That's what they believe. I'll take that. I'll take that all day, every day. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the calculator guy. Yep. That's me. I invented it. Sure did. Wasn't it here before you were born? Yeah. But they still believe maybe they think I'm a transcendent of it. The article I posted in Discord says that people who are still renting are on the wrong side of the wealth divide, not realizing that mortgaged houses don't build wealth except for the bank. Exactly. Luminoff, you're making a psychological statement, Luminoff. I want everybody to understand this too, especially debt slaves that come into this later. Luminoff has just made a psychological statement, S&D family. So what he wrote, the debt slaves cannot read or understand. They don't have no idea what he just said. Even though it's clear as day to us, oh, they're wrong. Oh, they must be trying to push these guys to get mortgages, whatever, right? That's all they got to do. All you got to do is make an unknowing debt slave that's renting, because debt slaves still rent, right? But they don't know they're better off right now. So all they got to do is convince an unknowing debt slave that a mortgage is better than rent, and then they got them. That's it. Oh, you're throwing away money on rent. Your rent is 1,500. I got a mortgage, man. I'm only paying 8. I'm paying half what you're paying. No, you're not. But what they're not telling the person that rent, guess what? Those people they're in $350,000 of mortgage debt, and you're not. They're not saving anything. They just sold themselves so for half the mortgage. It doesn't. I'm trying to put it in words. I don't even think I can. It doesn't even make any sense. What's up, XLP Pro? XL Pro? No wonder you had withdrawals, LJ. This system is very, very, very strong. Let me tell you something. I remember when I was young and I was signing up for my first house and I was signing that mortgage paperwork. I remember my stomach was in such knots. They set this thick stack of paperwork across from the bank person and said, okay, you've been approved for the house. You just got to sign this paperwork. That shit is so, and they're sitting across from you. They're not no time to read it, nor if you even read it, would you understand it? Would I understand it? I knew that. So what did I do? Sign here, initial here, sign here, initial here, sign here, initial here, sign. And I remember something in my stomach was so knotted up, but I didn't know what that was. I didn't know I was selling myself. That was the knot in my stomach. I was selling myself, and I didn't know that. They bought me for a house. But I did it voluntarily. I'm not, listen, I want you guys to understand something. When I say the bank bought me, I did it voluntarily. Okay. They didn't do anything to me. Okay. Whose problem is it if I don't trust math? Because they taught me that in elementary school. Okay. They taught me math. 1 + 1 = 2. 1 + 2 = 3. 5 - 10 = -5. That they taught me that in elementary school. So if I go to the bank and believe I bought a house with a mortgage, even though the calculator says that's impossible, whose fault is that? That is mine. Whose fault is it if I believe I can buy 100% of a house for only 5% of the purchase price? Whose fault is that? That's my fault. Whose fault is it if I believe I own equity in a house that I didn't even have the money to buy? Whose fault is that? You got people that have refinanced their house 2 and 3 times that are telling other people how much equity their house has gained since they purchased it. You guys don't know to ask those type of questions when somebody says, "Hey, man, my house has increased, like $20,000." You turn to them and say, "Have you ever refinanced your house?" They're not going to voluntarily tell you that information of how many times they refinanced their house. When you see somebody with not all the time, but sometimes you hear somebody, "Yeah, my cars are paid off," and they got a house, right? You say, "Did you refinance your house and pay off your cars?" When you guys do that, debt slaves, all you guys are doing? You guys are just getting depreciating, worthless cars off the bank's books and wrapping the debt up in the house where you can't take nothing. Hey, this is HELOC. You can get a HELOC and pay off those cars that you owe us money on. They're not gonna tell you that part. You can pay off those cars that you already owe us money on. We could already see you're starting to slip up, because they own your whole entire financial life, so they know what you're doing. And so if you start missing payments, okay, they're gonna come up with an offer for you to get them worthless cars because you're about to miss payments, or they don't want all that hassle. Shout out to Jacquees. Happy Thanksgiving, LJ and SMB family. You all keep me sane. You are welcome. Does that look like when you open up your calculator, put in your put it this way, even so you guys can understand how business works, okay? When you go back to the Dave Ramsey thing, right? And he says, "Hey, get down to your mortgage, pay off all your debt, and get down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% in retirement." You got to watch that. You see that? So when you create your own business, you got to do something similar like that, because if you don't, you won't make any money. That takes too many lot of listen, the percentage of people that actually pay off their house is really, really low, really low. So you have to go with pretending that they can while having a mortgage, because if you let them know that they really can't, you're not going to make any money. So when you create say like you create an investment business, but you understand that capitalism is psychological. You cannot tell your clients, it counts on how you want to separate your clients if you own your own business, but you cannot tell the majority of your clients that they cannot invest while having mortgage or student loan debt. Why? Because you would not make any money. You would literally have to get a feel for your customer base that might want to know the truth. Because the people that know the truth, they're still going to help the economy. They're just going to be doing it positively. It still benefits everybody. Actually, it benefits better, because what you'll do is come out and you'll create a very successful business like I am. I'm creating I'm creating two at the same time. Why? Because I have something very unique in both. Very. And absolutely nothing's in my way. I don't even listen. When you get focused, let me tell you guys something. When you get focused and when you're free, I this part I can't really, it's very difficult to explain, but I'm gonna do the best I can. Once you are totally free, there's no stop. There's nothing in my way. I don't see anybody. I have no competition. I don't think anything like that. I don't anybody that's trying to do negative, that stuff is so far away from me. Because you already know, listen, people, if somebody's trying to do something negative to you, that means they're not focusing on yourself. If you turn around, you're going to give them the positive and negative, the thing for that to work. You got to remember, no batteries work without positive and negative. Nothing works without positive and negative. You turn around, it's going to work. But if you keep going, there's nothing to connect. You just keep going. You don't even see it. It's up to you to make that connection. I don't see nothing. I know for a fact that there's nobody like me. Nobody. And I'm not, listen, I'm not even talking shit. I'm telling you a fact. This is a fact. And this is just the SMD channel, okay? This is SMD is not even going to be able to compare to 6 cents. I want SMD family to understand this. SMD channel is not even going to be able to compare to 6 cents channel. You're probably thinking, well, how do you know that, LJ? How do you know that? Because now I understand narcissists don't know that they're narcissists. Just like debt slaves, you know how we can see debt slaves? I can now see narcissists, and they don't know that they're narcissists. Debt slaves also don't know that they're debt slaves. And guess what? 99% of the people, guess what they're going to be? Debt slaves who are narcissists. You know how powerful it is? And listen, it's just as easy as identifying debt slaves. When they talk, all you got, listen, S&D family, all we have to do is listen to a person talk about money, and we'll know in 30 seconds if they're a debt slave right away. This is the same thing with narcissists. They don't know that they are. They don't know what they do. They just do it because they think it's normal in their world. You're probably thinking, well, what is that, LJ? They think cheating is not all, some think cheating is normal. They think that's normal. Some think physical violence is normal. They think they no accountability ever. They don't take responsibility for any, those are dead giveaway. Normal people take responsibility for the things that they do wrong. That's normal people do that. 6 cents is going to check there. It's going to connect with millions of people, billions of people around the world because narcissists are everywhere. Listen, the only way, the only reason the 6 cents channel is born because I escaped a narcissistic trauma bonded relationship. Now, if you never experienced it, you don't know what it means. Not many people can do it. I had the absolute worst kind. The malignant, covert narcissist, two personalities, one behind the scenes, one in front of people, violent, physically violent, mouth is bad, dirty, no goals, just everything you can think of, the exact opposite of everything, the worst possible. And I escaped it. Now you're probably thinking, LJ, what do you mean escaped? Everybody knows somebody in a relationship where their partner is unfaithful to them and they stay. Now, if you think about it logically, you keep it simple. You're in a relationship, one person cheats, the relationship is over because the person cheated. Boom, it's over. When you're in a trauma bonded relationship, the person that cheated makes the other person feel like it was their fault or something, 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 and makes the person stay. Not makes the person chooses to stay because God gave us all the reason to choice. Chooses to stay. And oh, everybody knows, and you might be in that relationship right now, and you don't know why you're staying. You think it's because of love, but it's not. It's because you're trauma bonded. Because in normal, listen, people that are in these relationships right now, normal relationships, your partner does not cheat on you. When you're in a normal, loving relationship, that is not an issue because both parties in the relationship understand that you do not do that. You don't even have to explain it. But when you're in a trauma bonded relationship, you don't understand it because you're still in it. And then when you probably leave it, you're going to think the whole world is like that, but it's not. It's just those people. Narcissists, they think it's normal. What you don't know is that you got to cut them off. Cold turkey, boom. That's how you got to do it. 6 Sense is going to be around the world because it's everywhere. But if you're deep in debt, say like you are a person that's like me, a person that was a debt slave who wasn't a narcissist. I just knew something was wrong. I couldn't put my finger on it. I swear to you, when I was in the debt matrix, I used to say to myself, I am missing something. There's something I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing it. Here's a car over here, not even saying that I want it. I want you guys to understand how it works. There's a Ferrari out there that costs $300,000. Okay. Now, I'm not talking about the people that finance the Ferraris. I'm talking about the people that can buy a Ferrari for $300,000. I just don't automatically say, "Oh, that person's rich because the business and this." No, I don't automatic. That's of course that's a contributing factor, but that says they know something that if you can drop $300,000 on a car and not think twice, that means they know something that you don't know. And you know what that is? They understand that capitalism is psychological, split into two parts, positive and negative. Nobody can know more than that because there is nothing more than that. Now, when I say more than that, I'm saying more than math. Okay, not what you can do with it. I'm saying nothing more than math. Great point, LJ. Most don't pay off their mortgage, and this is why it's worse than renting. Equity is owned by the bank until the home is paid off. Correct. Listen, this system is absolutely, hands down, beautiful. The way it works, the financial system, the way it works, it's nothing personal. It's really nothing personal. You're born here, and then you wake up and say, "Hey, okay, this is," and you're born into a system, and it just says, "Hey, this is the system. This is where you're born, the United States of America, yeah, and this is the economic system we use here. Period. Period." And sadly, debt slaves even get talked into taking a loan out on the equity for reasons that don't even be necessary. You got to remember this, reigning woman. You got to go really, really deep. Okay, not really deep. It's not really deep. The banks know everybody. The banks know all the debt slaves' financial situations. They already know. The banks are not guessing at anything. They own them because they make the payments to them. They all have access to their credit reports. They all know what they're doing. So if they see them starting to slip on some payments somewhere, all they got to do is just look on their credit report, right? And say like they got a house, a mortgage with the bank, and they got a couple of cars with the bank, okay? And but they also got credit cards and all this other stuff. So if the bank takes a look at their credit report and they're starting to slip up on credit card payments, they're starting to miss. Now it's 2 days late, 4 days late, 15 days late, right? They know the car payments are coming soon. So all they got to do is reach out and say, "Hey, look, you got some equity in your house. You want to refinance and get a HELOC or a second mortgage and pay off those cars? Pay off those cars. Listen, it'll lower your mortgage payment and all this other stuff, and now you won't have car payments." What do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna refinance the house and do all that stuff. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely. Just bananas amazing. SMD family members, we have a seat in the stadium. Now, I don't know what level we're on. Let's make sure that's clear. I'm clearly not, I don't have floor seats. I'm gonna just guarantee you that. I do not have floor seats, for surely not. Not yet, or probably never will, but I'll probably be dead before I ever have floor seats. But maybe my great, 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 great grandchildren might have floor seats. Let's put it that way, okay? Maybe. I'm just glad to have a seat in the stadium. That's it. When I see ads on YouTube, there's like hundreds and thousands of ads running 5% down loans, people all cheery and bubbly eyed and jumping all over the screen. Why are you doing that for five? Because they're trying to get the attention of debt slaves. Debt slaves like dancing and smiley and funny things going in the camera and blinking and all this stuff that they like in videos just to make it exciting to get a 5% down second subprime mortgage. Say it like this. Say it like you're a S&D family member and you're about to get a loan for a rental property, okay? For your business. And then when you went into the bank, they start dancing and doing getting flashy lights on their head and start singing. And would you get a loan there? I wouldn't get a loan there. I'd leave. What are you dancing for? I don't get it. I'm just here to get a loan for my business. What are you talking? What? Why are you smiling so much? Just get to the paperwork. Let's go. And listen, when you understand how it works, I'm not even talking to the bank. You know who's talking to the bank? My lawyer's talking to the bank, not me. I don't know about any of that crap. You think I understand that bank lingo, real estate crap? No, I hire a debt-free person that understands how I want to do business, and they make the connection with the bank. That's all. I just sign the paperwork and the checks. That's it. You think when SMD grows and 6 cents grows, you think I'm gonna be personally doing the taxes? No, I'm gonna have a team of people, of tax professionals who understand that capitalism is psychological, and I'm gonna just send them to work. I'm gonna be the best in the world. Companies are gonna come to me and say, "How are you running your business so financially smooth?" Because I know capitalism is psychological. That's how I do it. What's up, Owen? What's up, Dark Knight? How will you become debt free and when? Who are you talking to, Dark Knight? LOSMD. What's up? A surprise to see the Thanksgiving live. Yep. Yep. I'm not really into I don't know, man. It's really hard to I'm not really into holidays the way I used to be in holidays, and I can't really explain that part. I'm not saying that I'm not into holidays. They just don't grab me like that. Okay, that's all. What's up, drug hours? Debt slaves go to financial advisors at the bank for investment, and honestly, working at the bank, I would not recommend doing that. That's clear. Please research heavy, like SMD say, make sure they are not in debt. You know, so crazy. When I go into banks, when you have this knowledge, and I rarely have to go into a bank. The only time I've had to go into bank is for like business paperwork and stuff like that. But I know the person I'm talking to at the bank, they're just running the manifest of the who owns the bank. They're in debt. Because it's so crazy. You know how many debt slaves will come to you and say, "Oh man, I'm doing this and that because my cousin works at the bank." What do they do? Oh, they're a teller. What they have to do with investing? Nothing. You know what that says? Don't follow your cousin or do what you're saying. I'm not doing anything what you're saying. Taking advice from a financial advisor in debt is crazy to me when I see that. It is absolutely. But remember drug hours, okay? I want you to step out the psychological part. Those people that work in the bank, they're just doing what they're told, okay? They're just because without them, there is nothing. Like you're never going to find a person like us sitting there, sitting working at a bank and telling debt slaves they can invest. I just can't do that. Hey, what should I do? I got this $10,000. Hey, well, we see you got $50,000 in student loan debt. Yeah, so what should I do with this 10,000? Oh, crap. Oh, so you think you have 10,000? What do? You have to sell them a plan because you're not going to make any money. You have to do it. Obviously, not you, but any others who are aware that capitalism is psychological but still a debt slave. Well, once you're aware, put it this way, once you're aware that you're a debt slave in a psychological capitalism system, your mind switches and changes and rewires itself on figuring out a plan how it's going to get you out. The first thing you're going to have to do is ignore the majority of people around you who are going to be debt slaves, thinking you're crazy. Don't pay off your student loan debt. It's going to get paid off this how. You're dumb. You need a house. That's the first thing. Cut off the outside people. Once you cut off the outside people, then you'll be able to focus on yourself. You got to remember, there's a huge psychological piece, Dark Knight, that you have to get over. Some of it's within yourself. The majority of it is outside of yourself. It's you got to pay attention to where you getting financial advice from. Hey, man, you better get a house. You turn to them and say, do you have a mortgage? Yeah, that's why they're telling you to get a house, because they want you to be like them. Oh, man, you need to get rid of that car, man. You need to upgrade. Are you making car payments? Yes, because they want you to be like them, making car payments. I don't care for holidays. It's good for family and get-togethers. It is. I don't mind doing that. That's when my family have off during the holidays. That's true too. That's the only time you're gonna really get ready to see them, because they have to have those days off. You gotta remember, once you become and figure out what you're gonna do, any day is your day off. It's absolutely beautiful. You can choose what day you want to be off, how many days you want to be off. You can just wake up and say, I don't feel like working today. And I know a debt slave will hear me say that and they'll say, well, you got to be rich to do that. No, that's not true either. That's part of the program too. You don't have to be rich to do that. I'm not rich. And you got to remember, anytime you hear somebody use the word rich, you got to understand, what is their version of rich. They might see somebody drive up in a Range Rover that the driver's making payments on, and that person that just talk about, hey, look at that Range Rover, that person must be rich. Now you got there's your definition of rich. A person driving a finance Range Rover making payments, this person thinks that person's rich. See what I'm saying? So you got to be careful who you're listening to. Thanksgiving is about family and food, and this is why I like it. Christmas, the holiday, is specifically for gaining new debt slaves and getting people to finance items they cannot afford. Yep. They want to make you feel bad spending the money yeah, exactly, that you don't have. Yeah. I don't like that. Try and buy a house with student loan debt is crazy. Absolutely bananas, but you got to remember, Dark Knight, this is psychological. Okay. I want you to always look at it differently. If the banks denied all people with student loan debt, guess what? That would hurt the that would hurt the housing market badly. So if a debt slave believes that they can buy a house while having student loan debt, who are they to stop them? I bet it is. People don't understand the peace, the tranquility. When you block out everything, all negative stuff, put it this way, negative people don't really understand that the reason why they are the way they are, because they don't know how to regulate their emotions. When an emotion comes into my mind now, and I know people don't, maybe you'll believe it, maybe not really, I'm just sharing something with you. When an emotion comes in my mind, I look at it, I'll be like, why are you here? Because I don't get to control the thought. Listen, nobody gets to control the thoughts that come into your mind. You can't control where they come from. I mean, you can, but you can't. But you know what I'm saying? If just walking around, you can't really control it. But when they come in, you do have a choice to follow it or not. Just because somebody outside of you says something and you think about it or whatever, but you don't have to follow it. You could just not follow it. Just like, oh, okay, well, that's your thought. That's not mine. When emotions come in my mind, I don't have to follow it. It comes in, I'm like, okay, what do you hear? Okay, because you got to remember when you let the emotion in, your body follows the affection. First, you got to think it, and then your body will respond to it. I want you guys to understand something. Say like you can do this test right now. Okay, you can do it right now. Everything's normal for you right now, just normal. Now think about somebody you love dying today. See how it changed it? It's not even real. Did you see how your body responded to a thought? Now unthink it. Turn it off. Okay, tell your body that I just made it up. This is easy. Tell your body I just made it up. My loved one is not dying. See how you turned it right off? That's the same thing. It's the same thing. Exact same thing. So when things like that pop in my mind from either an outside person or somebody trying to do something, I just go, "Why are you here?" "Oh, they're trying to do that." "Okay, whatever. Just ignore it. I'm not following that. No reason to do that. They're thinking about me. I'm not thinking about them." Have you noticed that? People that are miserable, don't like their lives, they're always interested in other people's lives. Positive people that are doing positive things, they want other people to experience the same positivity. We don't want their downfall. We want them to be successful. Hey, be successful. There's plenty for everybody, yes. But negative people, they don't really, they're so focused on you, they have no idea that they're helping you. Wasting all that energy on another person outside of yourself. I do not do that. I don't do any of that at all. When you own yourself and you understand the power within yourself, there's nothing else around you. It really isn't. If you're not debt free and you've never been debt free in your life, you've never heard anybody in the world in your entire life ever talk like me, understand where you're at. SMD would change your life forever. There's no going back. You'll know more than billions of people with a B. That's with a B. Your whole entire life will change, your personal life and especially your business life. As soon as you walk into the bank as a business person, S&D knowledge, and they run your personal credit, they're going to immediately know that you've been talking to somebody immediately. Why? Because your credit report will look different than millions of other people's in the United States of America. That's why. Debt slaves don't know their credit reports are their owner ledgers. Those are your slave papers, debt slaves. They keep track of all the businesses that own you. That's why it's there. Your credit score reward points for staying in debt with the owners listed on your credit report, debt slaves. So when you catch a person, which is millions of people, bragging about their credit score, guess what they're telling you? They don't know. Because if you knew, you wouldn't be bragging about your credit score. I don't even know what mine is. I had to go into my Credit Karma and turn off notifications because Credit Karma kept notifying me what it was. I don't want to know. Turn off all notifications, nothing. I don't want you guys to tell me anything. Rich is subjective and based on perception. Yep, financially free, life after zero. Because you understand what SMD, when you have SMD knowledge, you understand currency, listen, debt slaves, all currency is psychological for debt slaves. Okay? All of it. All of it is a perception. That even if, listen, SMD family, even if they're holding gold in their hand and they have student loan debt, the gold doesn't exist for them. It doesn't matter the value of the gold at all. It doesn't. They're still not holding anything. Don't need no credit score. Mine is always ding, ding, ding. I was like, hey man, turn that off. I don't want to know. I don't care what my credit score is. I don't care. When you are listen, when you're an SD family member and you create a successful business and you've already proved it, because you're going to prove it out first before you even go to the bank, you're going to make sure whatever business idea you have is proven to make money before you even go to them, right? And then you walk in there with no debt on your personal side, money in the bank, a proven business plan, a proven business plan. You think they're going to say no to you? They're going to treat you with respect because obviously you check all the boxes. You're saying, hey, by the way, if I get this much money, I already made this much money in a month or two, and all I need is this much money. It's going to bring up production, da da da, make it do this and that, and da da da. And the bank is just going to look at the numbers. They're going to be like, oh yeah, okay, we're going to make some money off this. We're going to charge you at this interest rate. Cool. Because you know what? Interest rate, loan fees, or whatever, all that stuff is all you submit it to your taxes. Here, tax person, I did all this stuff for the business. Here you go. And when listen, this is what you guys don't really understand. When you're debt free, you're not even really, if at all, you're probably not pulling any profits out of the business at all. You're just letting it stay there. Any profits made, they stay there. If you don't need the money, you don't take it. You know how fast that loan will be paid off? If you don't even take the profits out of it and you just let it keep circling in there like you're putting something in a microwave, you know how fast that loan will get paid off between the taxes and all this breaks and all this other stuff. You guys don't even get it. You talking, hey man, you got me a rental property. I'm profiting this much, man. And I pull out 2,000. As soon as you hear them pull out, you're like, uh-oh, debt slave. I have a credit card. Honestly, I have a 743. I have no debt. Should I even continue to have a credit card? I only got the one because I was, yes, for sure. Okay, good question, drug hours. And this is why. Okay, because you're debt free. All right, so you'll understand what I'm about to tell you. This is the reason why to have a credit card as a debt free person. Number one, security. So everywhere you go, you use your credit card to purchase things everywhere because you're going to pay it off at the end of the month anyway. You use your credit card. Why? Because if a thief gets a hold of your credit card companies have trillions and trillions of dollars. They can cover $1,000 theft or $500 something something. They close your credit cards because they're going to see your pattern. They're going to clearly see that you didn't do that. Put it this way: when you understand how it works, fraudulent is easy to detect because they'll see your pattern and they see something odd. Obviously, that's a fraud, right? They cut it off, refund your money, send you a new card, all hassles done. You get to convenience. You get to rent a car. You try to rent a car with a debit card, that is the biggest hassle. Nope, don't want. It's about time. You walk up, use your credit card to rent a car, buy things. It's security. You can shop on the web. You don't have to worry about thieves or anything like that, because if they get that credit card, that's it. Turn it off, get a new one. Get caught out there with your debit card, it's a whole big hassle. Counts on what bank you bank with. They got to wait a few amount of days to put your money back in your account. I don't really want those kind of hassles at all. So keep one credit card, because I only have one credit card too. I just have one, just one credit card. It's for convenience and security. I don't have to use my debit card ever unless I'm going to get cash. That leaves it less likely to get the number stolen, because if I just use it at a bank's ATM, because I don't use random ATMs either when I go get money. I go use bank owned ATMs, preferably inside the bank, right next to the bank. I use those ones because less likely those ones are going to get scammed, or you always see the ones that get scammed like at 7-Elevens. Just think about it. This person came up to the 7-Eleven counter without the person working behind the counter, see them put a device over the thing. Do you think they did it in secret? Cameras are everywhere. Who knows who's working together? Who knows? Credit cards resolve all those problems, worrying about if somebody put a skimming machine inside the gas pump. And so, hey, man, whatever. 5% down. Ain't that crazy? 5%. Look, I wonder how many people are going to believe that they can buy a house with 5%. You know how many videos are on YouTube talking about this? You know how many videos are on YouTube talking about you can buy a house with 5% down? And all the people are young. They don't even know. Just just spreading the word. Hey, look, you can buy a $500,000 house with 5% down. $500,000 for 5%. They'll give you about a good 3 here. I remember when I got this one, because I did it 2 or 3 times. I remember one time when I was signing up for a loan, which was clearly a subprime mortgage, right? Because I had no money, but I made 6 figures. I was a perfect candidate. No money that makes 6 figures. You are the perfect candidate. The middle class is you. You guys are perfect, right? Trapped in debt. They had me say, okay, you got to show that you have enough money in your account to to cover like 3 or 4 months worth of mortgages, right? So they said, you can tell you what, you can go borrow the money, just like borrow the money from your friend or your family member, and just tell them you'll let it pass, and then you just give it right back to them. Like the bank doesn't know that you just transferred in X amount of dollars just in time. It's just the stupidest. Here you are transferring an amount of money an amount of money into your account that you've never had in your account at one time, and more than one time for longer than a month or a week, besides getting paid. But now you have enough to cover 3 or 4. Come on, people. I bet you when the bank looks at that, they got to be laughing. They just like, hey, we're just checking all the boxes so we can get it, so the bank will approve this loan, because all the bank is saying, hey, you get these boxes checked, we will approve the loan, period. They get the boxes checked, because you got to remember, debt slaves can't buy anything without the bank's approval. So the bank obviously is telling them, hey, these people got to meet this type of criteria, or else they're not getting the loan. So their job is to get you to meet the criteria. That's it. They don't say how. Hey, if the people transfer the money in the account in the same month, if they're trying to get the loan, they're not going to be approved. You think that's in there? No, that's not in there, because that's what debt slaves do. Because if they put that rule in there, you guys wouldn't get approved, because you guys never have that amount of money in your account at one time. It's beautiful. You see how it works? But you can come to the positive side. Listen, you can come to the positive side. And if you want to, and if it's legal, obviously it is legal. I'm not saying it's not, it's legal. And then you sell houses to people that believe they can buy them for 5% of the purchase price. I'm not saying not to, because if you come to the positive side and you sell, You have to do that, or else you wouldn't sell anything. They don't have money to buy no houses. Just think, say like you sold real estate and you said, I only accept people that have cash. That means you wouldn't be making no money. When you go to a store, listen, when you go to a store and they say, yeah, we don't have a credit card machine because those fees are too high, that means that's something's wrong. They have a problem with the bank or something, because listen, debt slaves have no money. So 99% of what they're going to be paying for is credit cards. And you're at a business that don't accept credit cards, that means you got some financial problems going on. That's what that means. Why you? So you're gonna. So in other words, since the charges are too high, so that means you're gonna just accept no money. That doesn't make sense. Nothing is bought without the bank's assistance. 99% of what you see is purchased with the bank's assistance. Cars, clothes, phones, shoes. You pull out a credit card, that's help from the bank. What's up, cupcakes? Lottery Guru says, LJ, sister finances a Tesla. The value of the car is 80,000. I said to her, why would you do that? And she started slave splaining. I just 80,000. Congratulations, Tesla. Congratulations, Tesla. Congratulations. See, this is what you guys got to see, SMD Family Lottery Guru. Listen, the only reason why she was able to get an $80,000 Tesla, because the bank said yes. So you got to remember, Tesla has to go to the banks and say, hey bank, how much can we get for our car? How much can we sell our car for? How much will you approve our car for? And the bank lets them know. For all we know, they probably make a Tesla for maybe 20,000. We don't know. You don't know nobody knows what the profit margin is. What is the profit margin made on a car? But if you see millions of them, listen, Teslas are everywhere. Do you think it cost them $80,000 to build one of them? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So profit margin is obviously discussed between Tesla and the banks. Who gets what? Divided, this and that, and that. I don't care. Hey, listen, when I get there, I'm gonna be there too. Well, okay, bank, what can I do? My sister has financed 2 iPhones, one for her and one for her son, and now she's talking about buying a house, aka mortgage. I want you here, S&D family. I want you guys to listen to the psychological part of this all, okay? Because I want you guys. This is how crazy it is. Now, I want you to go to a person that you know have a mortgage, okay? Ask them to put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance, and tell them to tell you and say, tell me the answer. 99% of them will give you a positive number. So let me give you an example. Say like somebody put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage balance and hit enter, and it was a balance of negative 238,000. Okay, you know what they will say? 238,000. Now I know to you, you're probably thinking, well, that's not a big deal. What do you mean? They just made a mistake. That's not a mistake. That's a number on the total opposite end of the number spectrum. That's not a mistake. That's a psychological thing. So if they put in their mortgage payment minus their mortgage, you guys don't believe me, do it. 99% of them will tell you a positive number. And then when you correct them, you'll say, "Oh, you mean negative 230? Oh, yeah, yeah, negative. No." And they'll blow it off like it's not a big deal. That's a big deal. Shout out to Scout, sir. Got your text, sir. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to you. LJ and everyone can't be here much longer, but excellent content as usual. Enjoy the rest of your holiday. Thank you, sir. The inside of Teslas feels super cheap, bro. Maybe that's just me. For the price you pay, I would think it would be better. See, I've never rode in a Tesla, so I don't know. I don't really. You gotta remember when you become free. Hold up, it's my mom. Oh crap. When you become free, I don't look at cars or anything because I know 99% of the Teslas you guys see on the road right now, they're financed, people. 99% of the Teslas you see. So if you have a gas car, or maybe you're a person that might be jealous of a person driving a Tesla because you think they're not paying those gas prices and and here you are stuck with these high gas prices. If the Tesla is financed, let me tell you the only thing they did, okay? This is what they did. Instead of putting their credit card in at the gas pump, they now put it in at the charging station, people. It doesn't matter how a financed car is powered. They're not saving money on anything. If they're using their credit card at the gas pump, now they're just using it at the charging station. They're still paying. Not only, listen, so you guys that might be jealous of this, not only are they they're financing the charging, guess what else they're doing? They're using 30 to 45 minutes of the time in their life for the privilege to do it. If somebody told you you'd have to wait 30 minutes at the gas pump to fill your car up, you would not stay there. You would leave. So for some reason, debt slaves who instead of using their credit card at the gas pump, they use it at the charging station. Now it's okay to sit at a charging station for 30 to 45 minutes if it's not crowded or if you're not next to somebody, which slows down the charging and all this stupid ass nonsense. Don't be jealous of a person driving a financed Tesla or any financed electric car. They're not saving nothing. What's up, No Zero? My brother asked me the other day, why don't I have a house and why do I continue to rent? I told him I don't want to have a mortgage. And he told me, well, well, you'll get equity and value on your house. Mm. You see the program at work? You see that? Isn't it beautiful? They don't know, SMD family. They don't know that they're saying that. This is why if you become a real estate person and you have SMD knowledge, this is why you're going to kill it. They think they own it with the mortgage, people. They think they know that. They think they own it. Let me turn this off just a second. They think they own it. That's how it's listen, that's how it's going to be. That's how it's always going to be to the end of time, SMD family. So if you understand this, you come over here, you understand that they can't buy anything without the bank's permission, and you sell it to them. How do you become, how do you become, how do you legally net pay taxes ever? Debt slaves pay them for you. Everything, listen, once you understand how it works, debt slaves pay everything in your entire life. Hence, legally not paying taxes ever again. They do it for you. Somebody will hear you say, "How do you legally never pay taxes?" You can't explain it. You can't explain that to a debt slave because they are the taxes. When you hear somebody complaining about taxes, that should tell you that they don't understand them. That's why they're complaining about them. Even hey, listen, even making a psychological thing a person, that's on purpose. So when you see when somebody says Uncle Sam, the first thing you think is a tall white man in a red, white, and blue hat and this and that. That's on purpose to make you think Texas is a person. Texas is not a person. Texas is a word. That's a psychological thing. It's not a person. Uncle Sam, who's saying that? People that believe it's a Uncle Sam or something. You better watch out for Uncle Sam. Who's that? Next time I hear a person say that, I'm gonna say, "Who is that? Is that your uncle?" No, then why are you calling him your uncle? And why do you think it's a him? Taxes is a word. That's not a person. Oh, I had wanted to tell. Oh, I had wanted to tell me you will never own that. Oh, you own that apartment you will live in, but I will own my home in 30 years, and I have wasted money on my wow. They really believe that's like, listen, do you know how long it must have taken to get debt slaves to believe it takes 30 years to pay off one house? I always knew, even when I was a young adult, I knew something was wrong. I was like, damn, I'm 30, I'm 32, and I'm not gonna pay it off till I'm 62. I said something don't make sense. And I used to think, well, am I gonna have this job forever where I work today? None of that is true. None of it. People, hey man, I just bought a house down the street from my job. Damn, you got a mortgage close to your job? And then you go back to work and tell your employer, look, I just bought a house. You know what your employer thinks? You are not going anywhere anytime soon, so I can abuse you. You got a 30-year mortgage? Oh yeah, I got a great deal, man. You know, I only had to put this so much down. Thank you. You come to work talking about you got a mortgage, and then they look out in the parking lot, you got a brand new car. Guess what? You're going to be abused. They already know what's coming next. Next thing you know, hey, boss, can I get some overtime? Hey, we already knew that was coming. From there, I just changed subjects because he has a mortgage and I didn't want to get into it. That's how you, and listen, no, that's exactly how you do it. Because if you don't, you're going to lose your friends, you're going to lose your family. You got to just walk away because debt slaves are the majority and they always will be. Okay. They always will be. You must accept that and you create a business from it. You see all these cars. Listen, you see all these cars by let me give you guys an overview of this is just my opinion. All the Teslas you see on the road, 99, I bet you 99% of them are financed. It doesn't matter, especially in all capitalist countries, they're all making payments. The only people that can approve the purchase of those cars is the banks because debt slaves have no money. So obviously Tesla and the banks get together and come together for some kind of meeting of the minds and see who's going to get what for this and that and da da da, whatever. I don't care. That goes for everybody. I'm just picking out Tesla. That goes for all finance cars, but I'm just pointing out Tesla. Now, I was saying earlier in Tesla's playing chess. I know it's a little bit off, but I want you to see the overview of what you see when you understand capitalism is psychological. Teslas are all over the world right now. And Tesla, listen, Tesla controls them all today. They are under Tesla's control with the flip of a switch. There is a market of people that don't take delivery food because of human drivers. stealing their food, eating some of it. They might don't like them because the color of the skin might spit in it. So there's a market of people that don't do it because of that fear. A lot of those people delivering that food, they're not paying their taxes either. They're coming from W-2 jobs, always hated taxes, wish they got more, wish they got the gross income, and then they're pushed into 1099 jobs where they're responsible for their own taxes. They're not paying them, but they're working for these companies that deliver the food. So the IRS knows exactly how much money they're losing every single year because the companies that they work for are telling them who they're paying and how much. Tesla, in my opinion, Tesla's going to come in because you got to remember, everybody, local city, they're not getting none of that tax money. That's a problem. So when Tesla comes in and he perfects his driverless cars, and they're already everywhere because he's probably going to employ a lot of the people that already drive Teslas that can't keep up with their payments, they're going to be the solution. Driverless cars. Now they can open up the market for people that know that will no longer be scared because they know their food is going to come straight from the restaurant to their front door undisturbed. Bye bye delivery drivers. Bye bye delivery drivers. You guys not paying your taxes. See you later. Uber drivers, people, you guys not paying your taxes. Goodbye. Even the people that are paying your taxes. Goodbye. You guys are about to feel what it was like for the taxi drivers when Uber came along. You guys understand that? Uber drivers, all you guys drivers, you guys forget that taxis used to run the game. They used to run everything. And then Uber and Lyft came along and eliminated them. Guess what's about to happen to you guys? You guys are about to figure it out. The people that call the restaurants to have their food delivered, guess what when Tesla's up and running, because they'll be approved real quick, believe that. When they're up and running, the customer is going to ask, what service do you use to deliver our food? That's going to be their first question. If it's not Tesla, guess what? They're going to be like, never mind. And guess what that's going to force the restaurants to use Tesla service. Goodbye, people. So now all you guys that did 1099 work all these years and never paid your taxes, guess what you guys are back into? W-2 jobs. So not only is Tesla solving the food delivery problem, he's solving the tax problem. Because you better believe everything they deliver with Tesla cars, they're going to be paying their taxes, all of it. That's going to force you guys back into W-2 jobs. And guess what? That's when they're going to come knocking. Hey, so-and-so, so-and-so. Yeah, didn't you work for Uber like the last 4 years, right? Yeah, you didn't pay any taxes. We have no record of you paying any taxes. When you get a job, you're going to be damn near working for free. So they're going to be taking out taxes, current taxes owed, and back taxes are owed. And then you're going to have payments on top of that. Good luck. Sometimes you hear people giggling about it. Yeah, man, I ain't paid mine in 4 years. Why are you laughing about that? I don't get it. Just like software program you install on your PC or Mac, they simply install the credit and mortgage program in the debt slaves and I get it. I totally get it. I don't want anybody in you coming into this channel and you listen to I'm not talking negative about the credit system at all. That is absolutely a masterpiece. Credit is a tool. I'm telling you guys, I'm not even saying that I won't ever use it. If I need a loan for my business, I'm going to get a loan for my business. And for the S&D family, I had to break myself because even getting a business loan, it's still a loan, okay? And so you got once you break yourself in the debt matrix, it's a psychological thing. Even with a business loan, you're like, oh shit, man, I don't want, and you got to break yourself from that because sometimes you might need a loan for tax purposes, or it might be a more beneficial way because it'll work out some way in taxes better or something, right? And sometimes it's necessary to probably have to do that. You have to break yourself of that psychological piece of understanding that. So I just started with myself. I said, okay, I'm going to use this credit card to buy something for the business, but I'm going to have the business pay back the credit card, That's what I was doing. So that's a psychological thing for me. Even though it's a personal credit card, it's to help me psychologically kind of get used to, okay, I'm not paying it back personally. My business is paying it back. Okay, cool, cool. It's not me, it's my bit, because you got to break yourself from that. They do this word of mouth, via word of mouth and media. It's all a program. You decide which software to install for sure. Scott says, dang, LJ, I was about to get off and get back to the festivities, but your game on here is too good. I'm telling you, man. I love what I do, man. I love what I do. You said you will soon find out that taking off your mask in public is quite controversial. You better not. And don't worry about that. No, almost every SMD family finds that out. Because when you get this knowledge, the first thing you want to do is tell the people that you love. That's the first instinct reaction. Hey, loved one, let me tell you something. And then you're going to find out that they're going to backfire it in your face because they don't know. You'll quickly understand it has nothing to do with love and who your family, sister, brother, nothing to do with any of that. I stopped working DoorDash last year and made decent money I bet. I'm not saying not do it. Make the decent money, but as long as you're paying your taxes, that's all I care about. I did pay my taxes, put my taxes in. Okay, good. As long as you did that. Because you probably know Dark Knight. Maybe you do, or maybe you don't know, but there are a lot of people that do that and they don't pay their taxes. I hear them all the time. Hey man, let me go make a quick $100, man, so I can go out in the club. If they're grabbing money to get something to eat or go to the club, that means they're not paying their taxes. That's what that means. Because if you hear somebody say that, that means they don't have no money now. And if they don't have any money now and they're going to work an hour or two just so they have some money for some drinks in the club to get in, that means they have no money. So that means they're also not going to have any money to pay their taxes. That's what that means. Because if I had to earn money, go out and to do some DoorDash and to earn some money because I had no money, I'm not going to spend it at the club. I'm saving it. Taxes, I'm looking forward for what you can write off next year after making a lot more money and this is what I strongly suggest you do, more Dark Knight. You don't even have to know about taxes. Go find somebody. This is going to be a needle in a haystack. If you can find a tax person, or hell, even a reputable business, okay, it's worth the money. But if you can find a tax person who is personally debt free, they have to be personally debt free. They have to be. They will do what needs to be done with your taxes the proper way. Make sure they're licensed, make sure they have the education, make sure the state recognizes them as the professional tax bloggity blah in the state and city where you live. They have everything according to the laws and the rules. Everything must be there. And you don't even have to, it really, you could just Google that. Hey, what's required to be a professional tax something in the state of this and that? And it should be really quick, a really quick Google. And then once you find this person, you say, hey man, do you have all these credentials that the state requires and federal and all this other stuff? If the answer is no, you don't use them. Those things are there for a reason, people. Don't be getting caught up. Oh, the state's just doing that because they want money. Yeah, that's probably part of it, but everything you're doing is a write-off. You just submit it because it's all for your business. So it doesn't really matter what they're charging, to a point at least. Those are all legitimate business expensive. Hey, a fee for a license for the listen. You pay a fee to get a business license. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? That's a business expense. When you do it, listen, when you do it right and you understand and you go by the numbers, the IRS is not going to flag you. There's not a person. Listen, you guys, there's not an actual person, to my knowledge. There's millions of you guys cheating on your taxes. You think it's a person actually flagging? It's a computer or something. If you're following all the laws and all your math makes sense, and why would the computer flag you? It's not even looking for you. You think they're programming to? You think they program the software to look for people who are following the rules? Absolutely not. I would love to be in a room where Tesla, Apple, where they sit down and discuss with the banks of the prices. You guys got to think about it. If Tesla decided, say like this, say like Tesla made a car and they decided they want to sell it for $100,000 because that's what the price they want. They want it. They want 100,000. And if the bank says no, we're not going to finance that car at 100,000, do you think Tesla has a choice? If the bank is not going to finance a car for $100,000 because they said they're not going to sell the car. Do you guys see how it works? That means no. Debt slaves cannot buy a car without asking the bank first. Yeah, so do your research, Dark Knight. Find out, say, hey, what kind of tax person are? Because I'm just telling you, when you have SMD knowledge, you know where to go to get this. You don't have to have the tax knowledge. You find the people that do. So you say, okay, you go look where your state and city. It's not just Google and say, hey, what's the requirements to be this type of tax person here? Whatever, right? You get those credentials, and then you talk to them and say, hey, do you have these credentials? Are they all up to date? If they start saying, "Oh, well," they're going to be shocked. Trust me. This is why I want you guys to prepare yourself. They're going to be shocked when a person comes up to them asking those type of questions because the majority of people are terrified of taxes. So if you come up to a professional tax person and you say, "Hey, man, do you have all these credentials?" They're going to be thrown back. They're going to be like, "What?" They're going to be like, "How you even know to ask me that question?" They better come up with yes. If you got a person that says no and they start giving you an excuse to why they don't have it, you better leave their office. You better just leave. Don't even have a conversation about it. Because people that understand how it works, we run our businesses legitimately. All requirements required, whatever. I don't know the purpose of everything. Those things are in there. Those things are there for a purpose. Oh, they're just trying to get all this money out. Hey, whatever. Whatever. On a lighter note, I thought I was going too fast today, but in the what's going on in the kitchen is insane. What you mean? What's that? We talking about? But what's going on in the kitchen is I'm not sure what you mean by that, Dark Knight. What are you talking about? Any questions? My life right now, while we wait, I'm moving at the that twice the speed of light right now. My life is so beautiful right now. It's hard to even explain. When you remove all negativity out of your life, man. mm, My mother is making some insane food. I wanted to go for a 72-hour fast try, but I don't have the strength to do. Why would you why would you why would you do that during Thanksgiving, man? That's you put yourself in that fire. Wow, I'm not sure why you would do that. I would have planned that after Thanksgiving for sure. For sure. That's funny. I have two questions, LJ. Oh, he said, I'm going to fast today, but what's oh, got it. I'm going to fast today, but what's going on in the kitchen is insane. Got it. Okay, got it, got it. I'm with you now. All right, what's your questions? What's the question? Any questions? 'Cause I got some calls to make. Any questions? Okay, he says, I just Googled tax preparer requirements for Florida, but it just took me to a link for a test. See, I don't, like I said, you're going to have to do some research. I would throw it in AI, throw it one of those AI things and say, what does it take to be a tax preparer in, this Florida? This is going to take a little bit of research. This is I've never done that, but I'm just saying that's what I would do if I was looking for a personal tax preparer. But I would just find a reputable business that really has a good reputation when it comes to taxes. No negative thing, no nothing about them trying to scam just nothing negative. And I would just use them, because trust me, there are businesses out there that run their business legitimately. No scamming, nobody trying to take your money. But these businesses usually cost more money, but you're going to get the service that you're looking for. Okay. These businesses usually cost more money, but you're going to get what you're looking for. You're going to be able to pay your money, tell them what you want to be done, and they're going to do it properly and legally. These people usually have excellent reputations with the IRS. The IRS probably never has to second guess their business because everything will make mathematical sense. Okay. So what are the requirements in your state, and do you know if I don't know anything about that. Now I'm just telling you what you should do. They got it. Listen, they're like to be a tax. It counts on like when you going to see this person, you say, "Hey, what's your title?" And then they're going to say whatever that is, and then you just go look and say, "Oh, tax," because a tax preparer could be anybody could probably say that, right? But you got to say, "What are you? Are you a tax LLC or practice something something?" And or if they got a license at all, maybe they're just doing because I hear people doing other people's taxes and they don't seem to be licensed anything. I've seen people take their taxes to a person that said, "Oh, this person does taxes." How? Just on their own or through terrible tax? Who knows? Thank you, Scout. Appreciate you, man. You too. Enjoy that holiday. Yeah, just do some. This is the S&D stuff that I try to tell people to do. Right? It only take a second. It can't be that much. Really can't be that much. But if a person say like there's a person saying that they're a certified financial planner. Okay, you just go and say, okay, what does it take to be a professional certified planner selling whatever they do, right? And it's going to say, okay, this person has to have education in this, certification in that. They have to keep up with their this and that and whatever. There's always going to be something, right, to keep them legal or whatever it's supposed to requirements, right? You just make sure they have all that. Because a financial planner that respects their business, respects their reputation, make sure that the customer trusts them. They're going to have all that stuff. They're going to keep up with that stuff because that's important. Customer customer trust is number one. You have no business if your customers don't trust you. When you reach the level, this is what you want to reach. First, you got to, when you start out your business, you got to reach everybody. But then you want to reach the higher level of people that will pay you money if you save them time. If I need something done and the person I needed to do it, I can 100% trust them, I'm going to pay them for what they're worth. When it comes to business taxes, I find a person. If they're personally debt free and they understand how it works, I'll pay them whatever they're worth because they're going to do it the way I want them to do it. Put it this way: say like you are a professional tax preparer right now. You've been doing it for decades, years, right? And you come across this channel and you've never heard that you've never heard of somebody saying capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative. I can help you become one of the best tax people in the United States of America. I can help you become one of the best, grow your business, whatever you want to do. Outshine all the people in your field that don't know capitalism is psychological, and they won't even know how you're doing it, even if you told them. If you're young, fresh out of school, and you're ready to do this, maybe, hey, listen, maybe you want to be a professional IRS agent to catch bad people cheating on their taxes. I can help you do that too. There are only very few people that understand that capitalism is psychological, positive, and negative in every position, job, career. There's only a few of us, very few. Number one, that's number one. I treat all my customers with respect. Let them understand, thank you for spending your money with me. Thank you. Appreciate it. Because you had a choice of spending it with anybody else, but you spent it with me. Thank you. What's up, Darshan? Thank you, sir. Happy Thanksgiving. Respect the gifted. The gifted are all powerful. Some of you guys are gifted and you kind of shy to even say it because you think, oh, who they think, hey, you got to ignore those people. Totally ignore them. I don't even see them. Only a non-gifted person would talk negatively about a gifted person. Who do you think he is? Hey, yeah, obviously you're not. S&D family, you know how I always say, I don't hear debt slaves? I literally do not hear negativity. I mean, I hear it, but I don't listen to it. That's not for me. They're not talking to me. Why? Because it's negative. That doesn't go to me. That's the power of controlling your thoughts. The majority of the thoughts, they come from the outside of you. Other people's thoughts. You start a business. Oh man, within 5 years the business fails. Uh-oh, somebody's trying to project their fears on you. Hope you're careful. When you hear somebody say that, only this is how you respond to that. Hey man, only 5% in 5 years, 5% of people succeed. You turn to them and say, I guess I'm part of the 5%. Because obviously the way you're saying it, you're talking about you're part of the 95%. Now, this confidence that I have, I've had it pretty much all my life, even when I was a debt slave. But now that I'm free and own the business of myself, it's 100 times fold. I don't care what debt slaves think or say about me. I don't even hear them. Now it goes for the same thing with narcissists and negativity. I don't even see them. So who cares? I don't care about your world, your perspective of the world. You got to change you got to when you get to this level, your whole mindset changes. I don't think like everybody else. I think like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and uh, Warren Buffett. That's where I'm at. Because I know the majority of you guys would not understand this, but if any of those men heard my videos, they would immediately know that I know something different than billions of people. Why? Because capitalism's all over the world. It's all the same. It's no different. The majority are debt slaves in all capitalist systems. That's how it works. Go to Canada. Wow, they got finance cards here too. Yeah. They got a student loan debt. Yep. They got credit cards here. Yeah. Yeah. Jobs. Yeah. Mortgages. Yeah. It says all the same. Yeah. We just use different color paper here. That's it. Everything else is the same. The majority of debt slaves. Go over to Australia. Same thing. Hey, you guys got car payments here? Yeah. Credit cards? Yep. Yep. Mortgages? Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. All that. Taxes? Yeah. We got all that. Yep. That's how it works. I just keep telling the people here, you just happen to be the luckiest people in the world because we're in the best version of it right here in the United States of America. Everybody in the world knows that. You got lucky enough to be born in the best economic system in the world. All you got to do is master this one. All the rest are downhill. That's downhill. Sometimes I'll be on a. Sometimes I'll be on I'm watching YouTube videos, and then they'll go to Dubai and look at this tower and look at all these Ferraris and all this other stuff while driving around. Look how rich they are. So what? What's that got to do with living in the best economic system in the world? Absolutely nothing. Is their economic system better than ours? No. How do you know that, LJ? Because our currency is number one in the world. What are you talking about? Isn't that obvious? It doesn't matter how rich they are over there. Whose currency is number one? Us. And you happen to be born here. All you gotta do is master this one, and then the rest are slide in the. That's a walk in the park. Stop looking at stuff. Stop thinking people's rich because they drive a finance Range Rover. You got to stop it. If you keep doing that, you're gonna continue on thinking that you can buy a house for 5% of the purchase price, and then you're gonna carry that on to your kids, and then your grandchildren are gonna think it. And, oh, I'm gonna pass this house. I'm gonna pass this house. You got to have something to pass down to the children. You can't pass nothing down for 5% of the purchase price. What are you talking about? Still trying to figure out how paying for a house for 30 years makes sense. It doesn't. That's part of the program, Darshan. Not only do debt slaves believe they can buy a house with a mortgage, they also believe it takes 30 years. You guys got it's like twofold, people. People don't really, you can't buy no house with a mortgage. It only takes one day to buy a house. Listen, in reality, you cannot buy a house with a mortgage, and it only takes one day to buy a house. That's the reality. Debt slaves live in, they're in the debt matrix. They believe you can buy a house with a mortgage, and they believe it takes 30 years. That's a program. Listen, everybody, I want you to listen. Millions of debt slaves believe that, not just one or two, millions. Would the housing market exist? Listen, the housing market could not exist without mortgages. The housing market cannot exist without debt slaves. Okay? Equity, listen, people, when you hear the word equity is positive and negative. It counts on who's using the word. So if you hear a person use the word equity and they have a mortgage, if they put in a mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance and hit equal, you see that large negative number? They are talking about negative equity. Okay? A person that owns a house, listen closely, a person that owns a home and no mortgage, there are no numbers to put into the calculator to calculate at all. So the word, though it's positive equity, the word equity don't even exist. Same thing for appreciation. Same thing for the word homeowner. Same thing. If homeowners positive and negative, it counts on who's using the word. If a person that using the word homeowner has a mortgage, they're talking about negative homeowner. A person with no mortgage is called a positive homeowner. You guys understand? Say, for instance, just like the famous quote by Albert Einstein about compounding interest being the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't pay it. So let me make it more clear to you so you guys can understand what Mr. Einstein is really meaning, so you guys can understand, okay? Compound interest is positive and negative. Those who understand compound interest earn positive compound interest. Those who don't pay negative compound interest. So now you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean, LJ? I really don't even understand that. So now let me use it practically. Say like you have a mortgage. Say like you have a car loan at 10% interest. Since the bank understands compound interest, you're paying 10% to the bank because they're earning it. So they're earning it, and you're paying interest to the bank. So because you don't understand it, because you're paying. Do you understand? That's what Mr. Einstein, that's more clear. I just added to his quote, okay, so you guys can understand the difference. I'll say it one more time. Those who understand compound interest earn positive compound interest. Those who do not pay negative compound interest. Do you understand? And I'm not even trying. This is just natural. I'm not even special, people. I'm just telling you what's on the calculator. I don't want you guys to think I'm fancy shoes or red bottoms. I'm just expressing, like, here, let me give an example. Open up your calculator, put in your car payment minus your car balance and hit equal. You see that large negative number right there? See that negative number? They bought you for the car. Does that large negative number look like you own something or you are owned? What does that look like? Does that look like you own, or does that look like a loan? What's that look like to you? Now, if you see that large negative number on your calculator and you still believe that you own the car that you're driving, because you got to ask yourself, if I didn't have any money to buy it, how do I have it? Because when you walk onto a car lot and you talk about car payments, you immediately tell the car dealership that you have no money because you're talking about car payments. What's the payment on this? That's all they need to hear, that you're saying that. Oh, we're just looking. No, if you ain't got no money. Do you know, like, if you gotta, and just be honest with yourself, debt slaves. If it's time for you to look for a new car and you actually prepare yourself to be at the dealership all day, do you know that makes you a debt slave? Do you know that? Now put it this way, okay? Now, the majority of they and I want you to understand this, they only do debt slaves like that. Only a debt slave would stay at a car lot for 6, 7 hours to finance one car. Now imagine you had $50,000 and the car you wanted was 40,000. Would you sit there all day? Would you sit there for 5, 6 hours to purchase that car? You would leave in 30 minutes. You guys would probably say, you better have this deal done in 1 hour, or else I'm leaving. You wouldn't stay? Would you stay? You'd be in and out of that joint in an hour. You would leave. Appreciate you, Joshon. It's Cash App for people that are listening. Cash App is savings minus debt. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. When you come to SMD, this is psychological, everybody. It doesn't, listen. This, what I'm telling you guys, this is not taught in school. Okay, this is not in the class. Definitely not. Listen, definitely not taught in public school. Let's just put it that way. Let me not say school, because I don't want you to think I can't. I came across this. I discovered it. This was already here. So I'm not going to say that. Okay, I'm saying it's not taught in public school. Because now when I look at public school, oh, Monday through Friday, these hours go right along with the work schedule. Sure do. Right along. Same days off, same holidays off, same this. Oh, programming you. Got it. I got it. Monday through Friday. Now weekends are special because I don't have no school. Now when I work, now I don't have no work, hopefully. Because and listen, when I say weekends off, let me make sure you guys understand something. When I talk about Saturday and Sunday off, I'm talking about before 2020. You youngsters, did you guys know Sundays? Did you know the mailman didn't run on Sundays? Did you guys know that? No mail, listen, no mail came on Sundays. Is that happening now? Absolutely not. Why? Because they have to. You think the USPS have a choice not to work on Sundays anymore? Absolutely not. In 2020 and on, Saturday and Sunday mean absolutely nothing. There are people that work 7 days a week now. Imagine you're one of those people that are working 7 days a week, damn near living in your car, and you're not paying any taxes. And you're young. And they extended it 10 years to look for people. Can you imagine? Here you are in your late 20s, you're doing all this door dashing and all this other stuff, and you're not paying your taxes. You start getting on your feet, stacking your bread, you get done doing delivery jobs, you create your own business, or you get another job, and then it's 8 years later and you get the knock at the door. Knock, 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 knock. Yeah, who is it? The IRS. You got remarried. Of course you didn't tell your married spouse, because you think in your mind you got away with it. Why even talking to him about it? Hey, yeah, I didn't pay my taxes or whatever. Not even talking about it. Hey, yeah, remember back in so and so, so and so. Yeah, you worked for so and so for 5 years. We have no records of you paying anything. At this time, they got to walk past your new car and your brand new house, and then you open the door, you got gold and jewelry on, talking about what? Talking about what? Pay what? I what? I what? They're gonna be just like this at the door. I what? Listen. If they come to listen, if they come into your door, they're already upset that they had to waste resources to get people because that's not free to get people to your door. Okay. And then they open the door and you have an excuse to why you didn't do something. And they're looking at, sir, well, we went to your old address when you were delivering at this time. And it was this small apartment that was down the street down there behind on 53rd. But now you live in a 5-bedroom house and those are two Mercedes Benzes out there. And you didn't even reach out us to make arrangements to pay any taxes and da, da, da. What are you going to say? Shout out to Darshan for the Cash App. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Are you going to lie when they're looking for you to lie? Or are you just going to open the door and say, yep, okay. Did you do this? Yep. Did you pay the taxes? No. Because if they're at your door, listen, if they're knocking at your door, that means you ignored the letters. You're going to pretend that you didn't receive it or they don't know that you live there or whatever. What you guys all use the same excuses. You guys give them practice every single day. If you had to say, you know how bad you would be if you had practice because you guys repeat the same thing over and over and over again. Oh, I got to get some water. Just a second. Can you imagine how bad you would be if you got practice 5 days a week from millions of people doing the same shit every day? You would be one bad ass IRS agent. You know how many people don't? Yep, that was me. I didn't. You're right. Sure didn't. Now you got to pay or fix or whatever. You got to do something. Because think about it. Say like you did and you got out and you created a successful business and you're creating profit, right? That works for everybody. You're just going to have to pay now. That's all. They wouldn't want to come and shut you down because you're producing. But you're going to have to pay. And if this is you and you're listening, right? And you're one of those people that haven't paid your taxes, I strongly suggest you do this, okay? Go hire a professional, preferably personally debt free, but I know that'll be a needle in the haystack. But go hire you a professional that's really, really good at solving problems like this. This is what they do because you guys don't really understand. There's a lot of you guys doing that. Okay. So I know there's some lawyers out there that get this practice because you guys are coming in with the same excuse. Yeah, I've been doing this and I couldn't pay my taxes because of this and I haven't done that, whatever, right? It's just all excuses. It doesn't matter. All they got to do is get records from all the places that you worked at. That's it. And put that together and go to the IRS first. Don't have them looking for you, but you go professionally, not on your own. Don't be trying to resolve things with them and you ain't paid your taxes in 5 years. That means you don't know how to do anything. You go hire a professional. Aren't you tired of aren't you tired of being scared of your mailbox? That's got to be terrifying. You ain't paid your taxes in 5 years. Every time you go to your mailbox, you're hoping you don't see a letter from the IRS, because one day you will. It's gonna be there. Now, of course, they're not gonna be able to get everybody, but they're gonna get the majority of you. You know how wonderful it feels to not be scared of put it this way, people, Desley, why do you think financial scammers always pretend to be the IRS when they try to scam you? Because they know you're scared of them. That's why they use them. That's why they always pretend to be the IRS, because you're scared. Now, if you're following the laws and the rules and you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, and a financial scammer calls you and pretends to be the IRS, would you be scared at all? You just hang up because it's not true. You know how many voicemails I get? Hey, we're the IRS. If you want to prevent yourself from going to jail, you better do the click. For real, Darshawn, people think Freddy Krueger live in their mailbox. You think Freddy Krueger live in your mailbox? Some people let their mail stack up in their house. Yes, people, I'm talking to you. All you people that got stacks and stacks and stacks of mail, you guys all do the same thing. People that don't have debt or problems, we don't let mail, well, we don't hardly get mail, but we don't have mail stacked in our house because we don't get it. And the little junk that I do get with my name on, I have a shredder right next to it, right next to the door. Just walk in and shred it. And people that send me shit and won't stop sending it because I'm not responding, you know what I do? I take one of their prepaid envelopes, save all their stuff that they're sending me, and then I put it all in one of their envelopes and send it back. They usually get the message right away. I never see their stuff again. They pay for it and they know where it came from because my name's all over it. So they know, hey, let me stop sending to him, because they're not going to be paying for a heavy ass letter like that. Because they know, oh yeah, where does mail come from? Oh, hey, stop sending him stuff. Okay, cool. People are terrified of their mailbox, terrified of it. Dread going to the mailbox. You know how many mailboxes are out there stuffed with mail that the mailman can't even get any more in because people are so scared to look at their mailbox? Man, I wouldn't even want a mailman's job. People are running from bills everywhere. What's up, Owen? Owen says, I increased my 401k contributions by a lot, and I'm curious if I'll have a similar reaction from HR like you did, LJ. You probably will. It counts on how you do it, because I remember back in the day, mine was I could just log into my 401k, something, 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 and I could just move a bar, and the bar would just show me what's going to be what. But I moved it all the way up. And then they called me and they try to just to make sure I didn't make a mistake, like I went heavy handed on the bar or something. They were like, "Oh, we just calling to see if you made a mistake." And back then, so you guys understand, I didn't realize why they called me. This is for the people that are listening that have jobs and 401ks. Before I left, I maxed out my 401k of $20,000 in 1 year, which was a back then was which was the allowed amount, or 19.5 or something, right? But the HR called me and they said, "Hey, did you make a mistake?" I was like, "No, no, I didn't make a mistake." They was like, "Okay, we're just double checking." Well, now I know. Now I understand why they called me. Because you better believe 0.5% of the people who are employed at businesses that offer 401ks, 0.5% of people are fully funding their 401k in 1 year. Why? Because they're debt slaves. Nobody does that. Hardly anybody. Very few people can do it. How do I know this? I remember being a IT engineer, making six figures, and looking at one day I was looking at the 401k allowances of 20,000 or something. I said to myself, who in the hell can afford to put 20,000 into a 401k within 1 year? That's what I said, making six figures. I ought to be embarrassed of saying that. If you make six figures and you have a job that offers a 401k and you cannot put $20,000 or whatever the maximum is into your 401k in 1 year, that means you're a debt slave. You know what else that means? That means you're stuck in a high tax bracket that you can't do anything about because you have no money. So if you're deep in debt and you're in a high tax bracket, guess what? You can't do nothing about it. Nothing. You're stuck. And you not being able to put 20,000 into a 401k, that says so. That's let me tell you guys something so you guys can understand what it means. It's like 401k is for practice when you get out into the business. That's practice. 401k is there to say, hey, the government says, hey, man, you want to reduce yourself in your tax bracket and your annual income? Yeah, here, we offer this service. It's called a 401k. If you put some money in here, not only will we put money into your 401k, we'll reduce yourself in your annual tax bracket, therefore saving you money on taxes if you can do that. But you have to have cash. When you have no money, you can't do that. And let me tell you guys how I even understood that to this day, because I didn't understand anything like that until I got over six figures. Let's make sure you guys understand that, because it's a significant point, right? So here I am going in my IT career, making high five figures. And then one day I got a raise for the annual raises came up, and I got a pretty good raise, would put me over the six-figure mark. I was so excited to see my next check because I wanted to see what a check looked like when you make six figures. Guess what? My check with the raise on it, it was less than the last check. So say like I'm gonna just start this number. Say like my last check was 3,000. Okay, this is just numbers. And then my next check was 25, 24 with the raise. I said, "What the hell is going on?" That's when I introduced myself to tax brackets, what they mean. And then I discovered to myself, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm debt free." And it says if you put $20,000 into your 401k, we'll take $20,000 off your annual income, therefore reducing yourself in your tax bracket. I said, "I'll do that." That's like double dipping, 2 for 1. I can't even put any more mail in. They start putting your bills in other in other boxes. That's funny. The main part of life is people running away from bills. Yep. Only debt slaves run away from bills because they have it. Like if you ain't got no listen, people, if you ain't got no debt, there's no bills to run away from. Okay. If you're running from what you're running from is debt. What you're running from is debt. Okay. So if you got no debt, there's nothing to run from. So by placing the money into your 401k, you reduce your tax bracket. Yes, that's right. Correct. So let me give an example. Okay. Say like I was in and I don't know the tax bracket. This is not financial advice. I'm just giving you guys an example. Say like I was on the high end of the $22,000 or 22% tax bracket, about to be pushed into the 24th percentile tax bracket, and I got a raise and 2,000, and I'm $2,000 into the 24th percentile tax bracket. Okay. I got a raise. Now I'm 2,000 into the next tax bracket. Therefore, I can go to the 401k. I can drop in $5,000 to my 401k, which will reduce me back down into the 22 percentile tax bracket, $3,000. Therefore, paying less in taxes and my $5,000 is in my 401k making money. That's practice for you guys as an employee. So when you come out into the business world, those type of offers are even bigger, but only if you're debt free. You cannot take people who are in debt. Listen, people, I want you to listen closely. It is 100% mathematically impossible for you to save on taxes while you're in debt. That's impossible. 100%. That's why it's called phantom income, because debt slaves cannot do it. They can't. Yeah, you should have been asking me that one, Nick. Oh yeah, and listen, Nick, you don't stop there, and there's more. Then you move over to the HSA. What are you guys offering? Oh, we're offering the same thing. Yeah, if you put in some HSA money here, put in $4,000. Not only will we take $4,000 off your annual income, we'll give you a card to where you can. We got a whole bunch of stuff on this list that you can use your HSA card on there. And if you use your HSA card on that, guess what? You're paying for everything tax free. That's like double dipping. That's like double dipping. And there's Audrey, and there's a lot more. And there's more. It just never stops. When you have that copay, when you go to the hospital, you have that copay. You just pull out that card and pay your copay with that. You don't pull out after tax dollars to pay it. You don't do that. Say like your copay is $20, right? And you earn $20 an hour. That's $20 minus taxes, federal this and that, blockety blah. So you're probably going to get about $17.50. Now you have to work a few more hours to make up the $3 to pay the $20 copay. But if you put your money in your HSA and the copay comes, you just pull out the card and pay it with $20. No taxes, $20. You got it? You guys get it? But you got to remember, debt slaves can't do that because they have no money to put into a 401k to reduce their tax bracket. They can't take advantage of the HSA because they have no money to put in it to take advantage of the ASA. That's why it's phantom income to them. Here, I'm gonna give you, I always like to give this example for people that come in the channel and don't really understand. Put it this way, I'm probably one of the rare few that can physically show you the psychological, okay? I can physically show it to you, okay? Now imagine I have a green $100 bill, okay? And I have 6 red $100 bills. They're red, which represent negative dollars. The green $100 bill represent a positive $100, and the 6 red ones represent negative. Each one of them are red with negative $100. So now, I'm here to show you that money is psychological for debt slaves, okay? Now imagine you're holding the green $100 bill in your hand and the average car payment is $700 a month, okay? Now hold the green $100 bill in your hand and open up the calculator app with the other, okay? And put in 100 minus the average car payment, 700. Now, according to the calculator, do you have $100 in your hand? The answer's no. So now I'm going to take the green $100 out of your hand. Now I'm going to pick up the 6 red ones, the 6 red $100 bills, and I place them in your hand. According to the calculator, do you have negative $600 in your hand? Yes, it's there. Now I'm physically showing you something that is only psychological, but I'm physically showing it to you right now. So now imagine me taking the 6 red $100 out of your hand, put it back on the table. Now I'm gonna put the green $100 bill back in your hand. Now listen closely. According to your eyes, do you have $100 bill? Do you have a $100 bill in your hand? The answer is yes. See, it's anything I want it to be. Did you guys see me do that? I made it anything. The reason why I could do that, because money is just an illusion for debt slaves. Do you guys see how I did that? That's not a magic trick. That's just facts. You guys still don't get it? Okay, let's replace the green $100 bill with $100 worth of gold. Now, if you open up the calculator and you look at the calculator, does the calculator say do you have $100 worth of gold in your hand? The answer is no. But if you look at your eyes, do you see $100 worth of gold in your hand? The answer is yes. I make it there, make it disappear, reappear, whatever. Magic for sure. It's beautiful. Go find out, man. Only people not in debt can take advantage of that. Wait till you have negative. See, I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is. And everybody knows. The only reason why Andre knows it because he has a spaceship. I think he's the only SB alien that has a spaceship that he said. I don't even know if it's true. How do we know we can see it? It might be invisible. I don't know. It could be many things. All I heard, it was used and it was financed. Yeah. That might be a rumor. I don't know. It might be true. Rumor. Not sure. Hey, Nick, I was just like, when I was a debt slave, I was always told only rich people worry about tax brackets. Ain't that crazy? Here's debt slaves. They will work overtime. Debt slaves, when you work your regular 40 hours and you work your overtime and you say, oh man, I'm about to get time and a half. No, you're not. When you make more, you're pushed higher up in your tax bracket. You make less. Oh man, I'm putting in these hours, man. I got so and so at a time and a half. No, you're not. You're not getting no time. What are you talking about? No, you're not. I'm working Christmas and I'm getting time and a half. No, you're just missing a holiday that you're never going to see again for the rest of your life because the one you miss is never coming back forever. Once you missed Christmas of 2023 because you're working, getting time and a half, you missed it forever. That's never coming back. So whatever event happened and all the this and that, you missed it for some money. Because you missed a one-time event because you got car payments. Your car made you miss a special event with your family because your car. You can't go to your child's birthday because you got to work because of your brand new iPhone 15. Hey, baby, I'll make it up. No, you're not. What, you got a time machine? You can't make up a lost moment. That's over. If you got a time machine, you better hide yourself. How's that work? Where's it at? Where's what? You said you're gonna make it up. How you gonna do that? I've never seen nobody go back in time, not that I know of. Do you understand? When you come to SMD, that's it. Nobody's gonna be able to. Nothing. Nobody can do anything to me. Nothing. I'm unstoppable. It's the world who doesn't know who I am yet. Do you guys understand that? I already know who I am. The world is catching up. I remember before when I was in SC, man, I was thinking, oh, I'm ready, man. No, I wasn't. I wasn't even ready. That was my cocoon. I had to go through that to be who I am today. That's not me. All those videos, when you go back to all my video catalog and you see the white doors in the background, that's the old me. All those videos are not me. All those videos you see me, that was me escaping my situation. That was my only escape. Of course, you guys couldn't tell because I had to keep that shit under wraps. But just know this, all those videos, that's the old me. That's not me. That will never, and listen, that man you see in those videos will never be me again, ever. That person's not saying that man's bad. I'm just saying I'm not him anymore. Even listen, even the person I was with, the woman I was with in those videos, she wouldn't even know who I am today. She wouldn't even know who I am today. Put myself back in that situation, you got to be crazy. Hell no. Absolutely not. With the knowledge of debt free combined with understanding and being able to not only see debt slaves, see narcissistic debt slaves. I know you guys don't even understand the power in that, but it's a great power. Do you guys understand that? Math is never wrong. And if I agree with math, guess what? I'm never wrong. Do you guys hear the power in that? And they don't even know. This is the power in it. And they don't even know that it's math that I'm talking about. They don't even know that I'm never wrong. Nobody's like SMD and nobody will be like 6 cents. Nobody will be like my other business. Nobody. I'll be number one in all areas. Anything I put my mind to, I will be. All you got to do is be it now. Whatever you want to be right now, be it now in your mind. It starts psychologically first. Be it in your mind, be it right now, and you will be it. There are no roadblocks. There is nothing that gets in your way. There are no people that can stop you. Nothing. Any negativity helps you. They're talking about you. I'm experiencing it now. Still trying to leave a person, still trying to do negative stuff to you. Why? What are you doing? It just helps you. They keep talking about me. Keep talking about me. That's what I need you to do. Keep me in your mouth. Negative people said when they do those things, they say they are focused on you. You just don't focus on them. You just keep it going. Use their energy because everything, listen, people, everything is energy. Everything. And there is nothing to do with time and or distance when it comes to energy. Nothing. If you are focusing on somebody and just because you don't let them know that you're looking at them through social media or you're not, there's no way they can feel that you're doing all you got to do is think about it to yourself. If you're doing it in your mind, you are giving it energy. Think about it this way, because I always like to give examples. Imagine a person that you dated as a teenager. Remember how you were hurt and broke up because it broke up bad or whatever? Okay, now try to put yourself back there and feel those same feelings. You can't even do it. You're like, that would be stupid. I was 15. It just everything is like that. You know how many people break up and then go I'm gonna have to get off here. My family's trying to call me here. I'm gonna wrap it up. Just a second here. 1 second. Oh boy. Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up, you guys. You have a good one. I'm not sure where all this went, but everybody, you have a good, happy Thanksgiving. See you until next time. All right, later.